Hey guys, so today we got here a 2011 Hyundai Sonata, and the problem on this one is we got the airbag light on, and on top of that our horn doesn't work, and we want to make sure that we got the airbag light off, otherwise if that's on then none of the airbag system's going to be working. So let's get inside this thing. I'll show you guys what it's doing and see what it's going to take care of this issue. Alright, so we're going to start it up and we're going to see that the airbag light is on right there. And that one's our seat belt, but that's the one that's going to be our problem right now. And you can see when we hit the horn, our horn doesn't work either. But besides the horn, we got to make sure that we fix that. Otherwise, if we get involved in an accident, our airbag's not going to deploy anywhere in the car. So let's get into our computer here and see what the actual issue is, and we'll show you guys how to fix that. We'll hit Diagnostics. Let's find our car. This is the USA. Alright, we're going to select our system so we don't have to run all of them. We're going to go to the SRS for the airbags. You can see all our lights popped out now. Alright, so let's read the DTC on there and see what codes we got popping up. So you can see it says driver airbag resistance too high, first stage. So what that means is that the resistance inside of the airbag over here in the steering wheel is too high. So most likely we got an issue with the clock spring in there. So we're going to take this apart and we're going to show you guys how to replace the clock spring on this one. And then that should take care of the issue. So first step you want to do, turn off the car, and then make sure that we go and disconnect our battery over there so that way our airbags don't deploy. So pop the hood. This is going to be our negative over here on the battery. That's the positive. So we're going to loosen up the negative terminal. Pop that out. That way we're safe. We could work in the airbag system. We don't have to worry about any of those mistakenly deploying. Definitely don't want that. Alright, so after we disconnect the battery, our first step is going to be to take out this, loosen up this airbag unit. And the way we do that is that we got these holes on the side of it. We got three of them. We got one on the left side, we got one on the bottom, and then we got one on the right side. And the way you do that, you'll see it once we put the screwdriver in there, there's like a pin in there you got to push, and this will pop out. So you see that? We got that one popped. And the other side is right here. A little bit to the top here. So we got two out of the three. And the other one's all the way in the bottom here. And once we get that, you'll see our airbag pop out. Alright, so we got that out of place. Now we got to take off the connectors in the back of it. So this is going to be pretty much our ground. So that comes out nice and easy. If you had two hands. And then we got these two connectors here. That's for the actual airbag system. So take those out. We got to pop these clips out. And then these just pop out like that. And you can see these are two different colored clips. This one's a yellow one, this one's a blue one, and they correspond with the right colors on the actual airbag unit itself. And then back here, we got a little clamp that holds this wiring harness in place. We'll just pop that open. And we'll move this out the way, and we'll put our airbag to the side. So there's that. Leave that to the side because that we'll need, because all we're replacing is the clock spring in here, which is actually what sends the all the electrical stuff to the airbag and to the horn, and that's where our problem is. So something's shorted out inside of there, and that's what's giving us that code, and that's why our horn most likely isn't working either. All right, so next what we want to do, make sure your steering wheel is straight. Next we're going to take out this nut in the middle here. All right, so to take this out, there's going to be a 22 millimeter. We're going to use an air gun for this one. Make our job a little easier. So we'll get that out. Put this, get this locking washer out of there. And now what I want to do, all right, I don't see a keyway in there, so best idea would be to mark a line at the top or on the side, anywhere, just so that way you have a rough idea of where the steering wheel is going to go afterwards. So that way it doesn't go in all crooked. So you could see that. We got a mark here and we got a mark here. So that when we put it back in, it's not going to be off-centered. Then we'll have to pull this all back out again. We don't want to do that. All right, so now we're just going to wiggle the steering wheel back and forth, and you can see that come out like that, and then we'll fish. It looks like this one, we got to unclip this one because that one's for the buttons on the steering wheels, so that's going to stay with the steering wheel. And the rest is the clock spring in the back there. Yeah, so we'll put our steering wheel to the side for now. All right, so now what we got to do, in order to get the clock spring out of here, we got to take this plastic covering off of here. And we got a couple Phillips screws over here in the front. And then we might have some on the bottom too, so we'll take a look at those. All right, that's two there. And then we also got one more on the bottom here. All right, so it looks like it just has 3 screws. And then what you want to do is get a flathead and try to break that loose in between them until it pops apart from one another. It's being a little stubborn. There we go. All right, there's that. We'll just leave that one. I guess it'll come off. Put that to the side. And now before we take this apart, we're going to take a look at our new one and see what our new one looks like. Hopefully we got the right one. All right, well that's a good sign. We got blue and yellow. It looks like we got 2 connectors in the bottom. So we'll take these two connectors off. The other one for the airbag, that clip doesn't just push straight in. You gotta take that tab and pull it back, and then that one pops out. And then this one just has a couple clips. It's got two clips on the bottom, and it's got one clip on the top to take that out. So you guys can see these clips right here. This is just pull this tab down, this other one down too, and on the top you pull this one up, and that one pops right out of place there. It's a pretty straightforward job, nothing too fancy to it. So we'll put that to the side. That's the old one, throw that away. Now we'll put our new one in. So as far as I can see, the steering column doesn't have a keyway for the steering wheel to go into. So it could go in multiple ways. So make sure you guys mark that, otherwise you'll have to take that back out again and keep playing around with it. So this one, now all we do is just snap it into place. So all three of those tabs will snap into place. And you can see it's got this clip up here. That's to hold the clock spring so that way it doesn't rotate, because if it rotates too far, then the connectors inside, those will break, and then we'll have the same code and the same problem. And who knows what happened to that one. A lot of times when people do like a rack and pinion on them, they'll turn the steering wheel, it won't be lined up, and they'll turn their steering wheel too far to one way or the other, and they'll snap that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this cover back on. But before we do that, don't forget your two connectors on the bottom. So that's the sound of success. As long as we hear that clip, that means we're good to go. Alright, now we'll put our trim piece back up here. That's the bottom. Make sure it's lined up with the keyhole, and then make sure it's also lined up underneath the switches. And that looks good. Put the top piece on. Snap those back into place. And then we'll put in our 3 Phillips head screws. Got the 2 in the front, and then we got one more in the bottom. Alright, there's that. And now we can remove our safety clip. Yeah, the reason that's there is so this doesn't move back and forth like that, so it's stuck in the middle. So keep that there until you guys are ready to put the steering wheel back on. And now we'll fish those wires in through here. And the important part now is make sure that your line that we marked earlier lines up so that way our steering wheel is straight. And that's good right there. And we'll put in our locking washer and our nut back on the steering wheel. We'll tighten this guy up. Don't got to go too crazy, just make sure it's not loose. And then we'll plug this connector back in. This is going to be for our steering buttons that go through the clock spring. And now we're ready for our airbag. Alright, so airbag unit's gonna go like that. Let's line these up, blue to blue. Clip that in there. After it's clipped in there, then push the tab up top to secure it into place. And if these guys don't clip in right, if you guys forget to snap these top ends on there, you'll still have a airbag light on because it won't make the connection the way it's supposed to with it like that. Alright, so now we'll connect our ground. And don't forget, our harness was running through that clip, so we'll clip that back into place. And now the easy part is we'll just snap this guy into our steering wheel. And now let's connect the battery and see what we got. Put our negative pole back on the battery. Tighten it up. Now let's go back in and see what we got going on, see if we fix the issue. All right, now our first test is going to be to hit the horn. If the horn works, then we solve the problem. All right, great success. What I also want to do is now turn it on and see if the light just went away or if we got to clear it with the scanner. You can see it lit up there for a sec and now it should go away. Oh, look at that, it's back. All right, we got the horn to work, but we might have to go through it with the scanner to clear it out with the scanner. So let's go back to our mighty scanner. We'll go back here, let's clear the codes. Before we do that, shut the engine off and just leave it just on the lights. Go back here, clear DTC. Clear code success. Turn the engine off. Turn the key on. See if we got any codes. No DTCs found. So now let's start it and see if we got rid of it altogether. So after we start, it'll stay on for a split sec and then it should go away if everything all checks out good. Alright, the reason it was staying on still is because we had our scanner still connected to the airbag system, which normally doesn't do that. I'm not sure why it did it this time. Normally the ABS stuff gets all those lights to pop on, but yeah, either way, once you can see here, we got the light on. I'll show you guys here. Once we exit out of the airbag unit, we don't have any more codes on there. I scanned it and there's nothing left. And you can see our light went away once we got out of the airbag system. So yeah, there you guys have it. If you guys are having that same issue, you guys got that same code, you guys' horn is not working in your Sonata, change out the clock spring, easy peasy. Get that done and you guys are back on the road and you can start honking at people again. So thank you guys for watching, appreciate it, and thank you all for the ones that subscribed and watching our videos and all the support. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Good luck with the repair.